Hi, this is Danai, and today's video is about how to progress fast when playing the piano. I've recently been getting a couple of messages about what to do when you're starting out with piano lessons, when you're still very young, or if you're at a beginner stage, what to do to ensure that you will progress fast in your piano journey. And I have a couple of tips for you, things to look out for, things that I implemented or that I was taught when I was still very young that I believe really helped me to progress quickly and take the piano playing to the next level. So if you're interested in that, then keep on watching. So first and foremost, the most important tip, in my opinion, is that you connect piano playing and practicing with joy. If you feel happiness when you're practicing, and if you associate happiness and positive emotions in your brain with practicing and playing the piano, you are going to progress quickly. It is scientifically proven that when our brain connects something to positive emotions, it makes us be more effective and it makes us progress faster. So make sure that when you practice, you set realistic goals that you can reach and that make you feel good about yourself, that make you feel happy, and thereby make you progress faster. Make sure that you challenge yourself as well, because when you complete a challenge, you also feel happy and satisfied and will progress faster. At the same time, make sure that you practice correctly. It is not necessary that the longest and biggest practice sessions are the best and most effective ones. Make sure that you practice smart and practice correctly, and you might even have shorter practice sessions that are more helpful to you and are going to make you progress faster than long ones that are kind of pointless. So make sure that you love what you're doing, that you play pieces that you love, that make you happy, that you have goals that make you happy, that you have challenges that make you happy. The repertoire, make sure that this is a positive experience, because if it is a positive experience, you are going to progress fast. Now, having said that, obviously practicing regularly is very required, and piano playing is one of these things that needs a lot of work and that you have to invest a lot of time into. So if you really want to progress a lot at playing the piano, you really have to invest some time. So if you're still in the early stages of your piano journey, be aware that regular practice, ideally 1 to 2 or 3 hours, depending on how old you are and how your life situation is, ideally 1 to 3 hours a day of piano practice are required in order to build up that base that you need in order to master the pieces in the future. The next tip is directed to all the people that are still young and are looking to do this very seriously or even professionally. And this is to dedicate a lot of your time in your young years to learning new pieces, to mastering new repertoire. There is this saying, whatever you learn before you are 25 years old is what sticks with you. And I guess, of course, it's not completely true, but there is some truth to it. And whatever you learn before the age of 25 is going to really be in your fingers. And I notice it myself, whenever I repeat a piece that I learned before I turned 25, it is so easy to get back into it. I'm in it within a matter of a couple of hours or days, depending on how difficult it is. And for pieces that I learned after that, of course, it's also possible. Don't worry at all. But it's just a different approach. When you're young and you really learn it note by note, it really sinks into your being. So I would definitely say, if you're young and looking towards a professional career as a pianist, learn as much new repertoire and as many new pieces as you can in the early study years of your life. When it comes to the repertoire, I think it is important to have kind of a range of repertoire that you're practicing, especially if you're looking for a fast progress. I would recommend in that stage where you're looking to progress fast to have a Baroque piece, so to practice the whole polyphony, to have a classical piece, to have a romantic piece, and to have something that is more modern, maybe 20th or 21st century, and then to also have some studies and technical pieces that you're doing. So I realize that this can be quite a lot, especially if you're young, so you could of course divide it up. Let's say you work on a study and a Baroque piece first, then you work on study Baroque and classical, then you work on a study and a romantic piece. So just make sure that you always look out for that your repertoire is filled with these different kinds of pieces. I myself found it extremely helpful to have these different eras in my repertoire because they teach you very different things. The harmonies are different. The polyphonic part of Baroque music is incredibly helpful and is an incredible base for your playing. The modern part is also completely different, a new approach, and all of that is going to shape your playing and influence the other pieces and really help you. I think that it goes without saying that you need a great teacher. A great teacher can really do wonders, and a bad teacher, on the other hand, can really be very harmful. So make sure that you're working with somebody that makes you feel good about yourself, that challenges you, that inspires you and motivates you, and that will really help you as well. Now, if you don't have a teacher, or also if you have one, but in addition to that, I would recommend to record yourself. Recording yourself and then listening back to it is a very, very powerful exercise, in my opinion. When I started doing that when I was young, I found so many little mistakes and so many little habits that I wasn't even aware of up to that point. So definitely record yourself. Just take your phone, hit the mic and record yourself, or maybe even take a video where you can see what your hands look like when you play. It's so easy to do that nowadays. So record yourself, either just sound or with video, and look at it from the outside. We listen to ourselves so differently when we hear it as a listener from the outside, as opposed to when we're playing and are right in the middle of it. So record yourself and use that as a foundation to progress and to improve your playing. Another thing that I would recommend is sight read. Just go through many pieces, go through music, look at it. It doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to play it amazingly. Just go through it and discover the repertoire, discover what is there. Sight reading is very helpful, not only for your musical understanding and for your music knowledge that is going to be increased, but also for your technique. You're going to improve and get better at learning. You're going to be learning faster and just generally progressing faster at the piano. I recently made a video about sight reading tips, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it in the description box down below. Another big tip, if you are looking towards playing piano in front of an audience, doing this professionally, or at least giving concerts in front of friends and family, is to practice playing in public. The whole performing part of this job is very crucial and very different to the practicing part. So definitely practice that, because what works in the practice room might not work on stage. You might get nervous, you might get stage fright. All of that is normal and nothing to be concerned about. It just needs to be trained. So try to play in front of your friends, in front of your teacher, in front of fellow students, whoever you find that will listen to you, in order to train yourself to get used to that audience situation, and in order to learn how to combat those nerves and how to actually use them to your advantage. And finally, I would say go and listen to concerts. There is so much to learn from the great pianists that are playing in the concert halls. I know that now concerts are not happening, so this is not a very helpful tip, but just go on YouTube and watch videos of pianists playing in concert and see what they're doing. Be curious about their interpretation. See what they're doing technically, which fingerings they are using, how they are phrasing the pieces, which character they are giving them, and just take that all in. I have learned so much just from going to concerts. I remember when I was a very young girl, I was 7 to maybe 14, 15, it was such a huge event for me whenever we would go to the concert hall of the city that I grew up in and see a famous pianist play a piano recital or a piano concerto. I was always so excited, and I always came back so inspired by these concerts, and I definitely think that I learned from that. So go and see pianists, listen to them. That will definitely help you as well. And finally, don't just have piano in your life. Practicing is not everything. Of course, you have to invest that amount of time every day, regularly, that's clear. But when you're done with that, go outside, have a walk, meet your friends, go dancing, do whatever you like, because life inspires our music making. So make sure that you have adventures, that you have experiences that you can then in turn put into your music and make it sound as alive as you have been. I really hope that you found this video interesting. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. Let me know what you have been doing when you were younger or what you are doing right now in order to progress fast at the piano. And I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.